you honestly want to clean up the problems in polygamy?
Yeah.
You allow women who are plural wives to have a marriage license. I'll tell you what, that would be a threat to me. First of all, you'll have the man who is willing to shoulder that responsibility is going to take it seriously. And second of all,
that's a lot of alimony.
If that wife is getting abused and she leaves, she can clean the house.
Yep, that's a lot of child support too.
Robyn leans back with a smirk, eyeing the conversation like it's some sort of joke. That's a lot of alimony, she says, as if the idea of someone getting paid after a breakup is an absurd, laughable thing. The irony of it all is almost too much. Here's Robyn, the one who's been living in a carefully crafted, financially cushioned little bubble with Kody, cracking jokes about the women he abused, the women who, unsurprisingly, decided to leave him, and now want what's rightfully theirs, a fair share of assets. But Robyn, she's rolling her eyes at the very notion that they might actually get what they're owed. Alimony? Child support for kids Kody fathered? Gasp. What's even weirder is that she and Kody have spent all this time talking about their legal marriage being purely for adoption purposes. But when it comes to the perks of a legal marriage, like, say, financial protection or securing assets, they've got that all figured out, haven't they? But did they extend that same sense of financial security to the other wives? Of course not. The way Robyn's chuckling through all of this, it's almost like she's mocking them. You can practically hear her thinking, well, I'm set for life, and if they want to fight for equality, good luck with that uphill battle. But of course, she can't say that outright on TV. You can almost feel her enjoying the fact that she and Kody are sitting pretty while the others are left to pick up the pieces. She doesn't even try to hide it. She's in the privileged position, the favored one, while the rest are just, well, the others. Imagine any of the other wives sitting next to Kody, giggling through a conversation like that, grinning like it's some big joke. Yeah, that's not happening, but Robyn, she's doing it with ease, and that says it all. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Oh, Robyn's two older daughters, where to start? Let's remember, they're not little girls anymore. They're adults, legal adults. So when they choose to get in front of a camera and speak their minds, it's their decision. At what point do we stop making excuses for them like they're still toddlers? Seriously, they're not that much younger than me, and I just can't wrap my head around it. And then there's the whole getting your ears pierced like a 7-year-old act. Watching that was not normal. Not for someone in their late teens or early 20s. Having an emotional meltdown and needing to be carried to bed. Come on. That's not behavior you'd expect from someone who's supposed to be an adult. Robyn's clearly done a number on those girls, and it's not pretty. Robyn really worked hard to brainwash those girls into thinking Kody's some kind of savior. I remember one episode when they were little, and one of them called Kody by his name. Robyn's reaction, "Who?" The girl quickly corrected herself, "Oh, I mean Dad." This was back when their bio dad was still in the picture, and Robyn wasn't having any of it. Or that time Aurora was practically bouncing off the walls to see her bio dad, and Kody and Robyn told the cameras. When the kids come back from their dads, they act all different. Translation: Robyn didn't like that they were getting any semblance of a normal relationship with their real dad. So now she has to retrain them to believe Kody's their dad. Absolutely unhinged. And let's talk about that portrait of Kody and the little kids. A portrait of Kody with children who weren't even in his life at that age. Oh sure, that's perfectly normal. That's how much Robyn's warped their perception of family. It's honestly painful to watch, especially because Aurora seems like she's the stronger one, while Brina's always teetering on the edge of a breakdown. I'm sure Robyn's all over the place with whatever she's telling Meri about Aurora having a boyfriend, who Kody's apparently met. Who knows how that's going now, though, because Robyn's definitely going to keep everything under wraps. Meanwhile, Kody's over here saying he's done with the church and all their BS. Great, So if he's not practicing and nobody else is, maybe the kids will finally get a chance at a normal life when they head off to college, meet some normal people, and get as far away from Robyn and Kody as possible. But hey, the younger ones still have a ways to go. Best of luck to them, right? Oh, and let's not forget the kids coming back from their dads looking genuinely happy. Kody and Robyn made it sound like the kids were being dragged kicking and screaming. What a joke, trying to turn your children against a parent who seems like a perfectly decent guy. That's low. Robyn should be ashamed of herself. But then again, when has she ever really been? It's really giving deadbeat dad vibes. I'm finally caught up on the older episodes, and wow, it's glaringly obvious that Kody was never really present as a dad. And now, in classic Kody fashion, he's trying to rewrite history, claiming he never even wanted the other wives. It's like he's totally fine with ditching his older kids to build this new, perfect little family with Robyn. Sounds like the classic move of a dad who gets remarried and conveniently forgets he has kids from a previous life. Honestly, it's gross. He's out here on national TV promoting this ideal life, all while completely disregarding his other kids. It's sickening. Let's be real, he's been a deadbeat dad from the start. Don't kid yourselves. The original 3 wives did all the heavy lifting. I mean, Christine even pointed out at Maddie's baby shower that Kody only changed diapers like, 5 times? He was only ever around for the fun stuff. Raising, educating, disciplining his kids. Not his job, until Robyn came along, of course. And now he's just doubling down, like he's trying to convince himself that he didn't make a huge mistake with his recent, horrific decisions. It's almost like the more he tries to hurt and insult everyone else, the harder I believe he regrets it. What really gets me is that he never even saw it as his responsibility to make sure his kids had basic stuff like breakfast or meals. I get polygamy is a complicated thing, but come on, he had 18 kids with 4 wives. That's a lot to juggle. They all wanted the lifestyle, but at the end of the day, his priority should have been his kids. And don't even get me started on the thought of being with a man who's been with so many other women without using protection. The idea of that just makes me physically ill. One wife could bring in HPV, and next thing you know, it's showing up on everyone's pap smear. That's just, Kody claiming he prefers home births over hospital births had me cracking up. There we were, all the women in the room discussing their birthing experiences, and Kody, with the most serious face, drops, "I prefer a home birth because it's just more natural." Like really? As if he's some kind of birth expert. I had to laugh out loud. Honestly, they need to do a tell-all where Kody gets strapped to one of those machines that simulates childbirth pain for men. I can already picture it. Us sitting there with popcorn, watching Mr. Alpha Male squirm through a fraction of what women actually go through. It's only fair, the wives deserve that show. Talking about pain is one thing, but I want to see Kody back up all that talk. And let's be real, Kody's true preference, I prefer when a birth is nice on my wallet. That's the real kicker. He keeps proving what a small man he is, over and over again. It's not about the woman or the experience. It's about Kody feeling like the star of the show. At a home birth, he gets to play the great coach role, holding a hand, pretending he's the one in charge. But in a hospital, where the doctors and staff are actually focused on the woman giving birth, Kody fades into the background. Funny how that works, huh? Robyn's kids' feelings about not being integrated. Oh, they're valid. Stick with me here. In any scenario, being the new kids in a big, established group is tough. But Robyn's shy kids got dropped into a Lord of the Flies situation, surrounded by a rowdy, eat-or-be-eaten pack of older kids. No judgment, I get it. I grew up in a similar chaos. Even Michael T., Gwen, and Leon have all talked about how hard it was for them. And don't even get me started on Payton. He was a bit of an unchecked problem who seemed to enjoy tormenting his siblings. Now, Aurora's right to say the parents dropped the ball. Robyn coddled her kids' anxiety and isolation, while Christine and Janelle waved away cruel behavior with the classic boys will be boys excuse. As for Kody, well, he only cared when the noise became so unbearable that he couldn't ignore it anymore. And then he'd shout some empty threats like they were supposed to magically fix everything. Before you go thinking I'm excusing their behavior, I'm not. I'm just saying, Robyn and Kody weren't lying about how hard it was to blend the families. That struggle, real. Let's also take a minute to remember that Robyn's kids never lived together with the original crew. The OG kids were in the same house 24/7, like a big dysfunctional family. Paydon even said he spent most of his time hanging out with Janelle. Meanwhile, the adults all lived in separate houses in Vegas, so it was more like they were living next door to cousins than being a real blended family. No Saturday morning cartoons in PJs, no sharing a bathroom, no helping each other with homework, no daily dinners together. Of course, the older OG kids are closer. They actually spent real time together. And let's talk about how Robyn treated the OG kids, shall we? She kicked Paydon and Gwen out of her rental because Kody was almost home and they needed to get ready for dinner. Like, seriously? That's what a friend's parent says when it's time to go home, not something your own mom says. Then there was the ask Robyn or Mindy note on the fridge to deal with leftovers, because God forbid anyone actually eat the food unless it was on Robyn's terms. Oh, and Isabel dared to eat some of Robyn's kids' cereal? Cue the drama. Robyn went on a smear campaign for years against Hunter when he wasn't thrilled about Sol's birth announcement. But when Robyn got pregnant with Aerie, she made sure to tell her family first. So yeah, Robyn basically treated the OG kids like outsiders. Family blending is a gamble. You can love each other as much as you want, but what do you do when your 11-year-old and 9-year-old can't stand each other? And there's jealousy, favoritism, and O-14 more kids you have to share your already not enough dad with. What's the solution? Have 2 more kids, obviously. It takes an insane amount of magic to successfully blend a family. It's like winning the lottery. So if you're wondering, Kody probably saw it as a woman's problem instead of something he needed to fix. But when Aurora said the parents failed, she didn't include Kody and Robyn. And honestly, those 2 should have been the ones most responsible for making it work. Yes, it's a team effort, but a huge chunk of that responsibility was on them. Production fails, Kody edition. Once again, production lets Kody skate by without answering any of the important questions. No follow-ups, no challenges when he flat out refuses to answer. He just ignores questions, and somehow, there's never any pushback when he lies. It's been a pattern for years, and honestly, I'm over it. But this latest stunt? Not one person asks why Kody thought he could skip updating Janelle about the status of her property or the money she's earned. Hello, does anyone on the production team think to ask why that's okay? Do they seriously believe Kody's going to walk off the show and find another gig that pays as much? What, is he going to start an OnlyFans? Here's a thought. His contract should have a clause that, as a main cast member, he's required to answer questions. Or if he's going to keep refusing, fine, relegate him to guest/friend status and adjust his salary to reflect that new, less significant role. Because honestly, at this point, there's no need for Kody or Robyn anymore. It's about time for a spin-off. What gets me, though, is how production keeps leaving in these moments where Kody refuses to talk, and the flashbacks that directly contradict the stuff he and Robyn are saying. I think this is less of a production fail and more of a statement about what the production team really thinks of them. If I'm not mistaken, earlier seasons seem to lean more in Kody and Robyn's favor. But in the last few, it feels like the tide has turned. We, as viewers, aren't the only ones who've had enough of their antics. And you know what? Leaving in Kody's refusal to answer questions isn't a failure. It's a glorious edit. They ask, he refuses, and the production doesn't back down. The reality is, they're no longer giving him the kind of favorable edit he's used to, and it's honestly kind of satisfying to watch. Where do we even start with Robyn and Kody's latest round of let's lie and hope no one notices? At the beginning of the episode, Robyn made this big deal about how the little kids have no idea what's going on and aren't tracking the family drama. But surprise, surprise, Kody immediately turned around and dropped the bomb that Meri said she doesn't like Christine for leaving the family. So, who's not paying attention now? It's almost like they think viewers are too dumb to notice the glaring contradictions. But honestly, at this point, it's a full-blown comedy show watching them try to keep their stories straight. You'd think, after all these seasons, they'd at least get on the same page about what lies they're telling. But nope. I'm really starting to think that's why production never interviews them together anymore. It's so much easier to catch them in a slip-up when they're not in the same room. It's not like they can prep and rehearse their little narratives ahead of time, and if they're separated, there's zero chance they can cue each other with the classic mouth cover move or give the fake, forced, "Oh, we're just so happy for them" face. And let's not forget the golden moment when Michael had everyone say goodbye to Christine. Meri had plenty to say about it. She was asking why they were leaving and even suggested they all needed to go on dates. And don't even get me started on the time, just a few episodes earlier, when she casually mentioned she was engaged to someone at school. I think Meri knows way more than they want to admit, and she's definitely listening more than they think. But hey, you've got to give credit where it's due. At least they're doing us a favor by exposing themselves. I mean, if they just told the truth, they wouldn't have to constantly dig themselves deeper. But no, they've got to rewrite history to fix their image. Too bad for them, there's enough footage to turn their entire narrative into Swiss cheese. Cause Janelle is on a truth bomb spree. I've never heard her go off like this about Robyn before. Honestly, it makes these revelations even juicier because you know she's finally done playing nice and is just laying it all out. She's been fed up for a while, but now that she's fully aware of how much Kody took advantage of her, the gloves are officially off. You can tell she trusted Kody for years. She never thought he was exploiting her financially. She left him for completely different reasons. But now that her eyes are wide open to how much he screwed her over, both emotionally and financially, she's going full-on savage. And of course, we all saw this coming. Kody and Robyn's blatant attempt to rewrite history is just so tired. Honestly, I'd have more respect for them if they just admitted it straight up. Yeah, we favored Robyn and her kids from the start. I spent more time at her house, and I didn't really give a damn about anyone else. At least that would be honest. The fact that Kody doesn't see how his actions pushed everyone else away is honestly mind-blowing. How does he not get it? And let's be real, Janelle is throwing these truth bombs to protect her kids. It's like a mama bear on a rampage. Kody and Robyn have been trashing her kids, and Janelle's had enough. It's like she's saying, "All right, you've messed with my cubs long enough. Time to tear you apart." She's definitely in full-on mama bear mode now, and I am here for it. How dare Kody and Robyn lie and twist the story about her kids? They've pushed her too far, and now it's time for payback. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.